Hello, everyone. My name is Valdrin and I'm the senior analyst for Being Crypto. So today we have Konstantin back, our global trader, and afterwards Ankit will also be joining us. So today we're going to talk about meme coins and Bitcoin. So basically, we're going to decide if it's time to buy both meme coins and Bitcoin right now. So I'll start with meme coins. And then afterward, Konstantin will discuss Bitcoin and also an open trade in the Telegram group, a Bitcoin short, which was caught really, really nicely. And then afterward, Ankit will also give his thoughts. So I will share my screen. Second. Screen. Here it is. Okay, yeah. So I'll clean this up for a second. So I think Dogecoin, so I'll start with Dogecoin, and the rest of the market are correcting after that like massive upward movement in January. I still think they're bullish, but it's basically just a short-term correction. So weekly chart looks interesting. I mean, no new developments. We still had this bullish divergence here, which did lead to the upward movement. I think in the log chart we have this massive breakout. So that's always a good sign because basically it legitimizes the bullish divergence. So we have bullish divergence, then breakout, then some sort of retest here, and now the price can move higher. I mean, main resistance is here. So yeah, at about here, 0.11 something. I mean, since the area previously acted as support, it's now likely to act as strong resistance. And yeah, like basically we have to break that in order to just like begin the upward movement at a very rapid rate. But what differs is the shorter term chart. So I'll go with the daily. So the way I'm seeing it is that this was an ABC correction because it fits really well. Like this is for sure a B, in my opinion, like the small one here. And since we have these like impulsive drops, both preceding it and succeeding it, I think it's very, very likely that this part here was a B. Then we have like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, and an A down here. And yeah, so I think basically a new move began here. But then once we look at this drop here, so the new move followed this ascending support line, either here or here, it broke out in any case. And here it created some sort of wedge. So basically the way I'm counting it is like this. We have a 3 here and then we have this 5 here. Now don't get confused by the fact that this is a very choppy and usually, okay, Ankit is here, so I light into the stream. Hi Ankit, and yeah, don't get confused by this choppy movement here because it's an ending diagonal, hence the wedge shape, so it still fits. And the fact that the move broke down really quickly supports this. So the way I'm seeing it, Dogecoin it has actually almost increased to the 0.618 level. So it will increase toward here and then basically remove it, continue it outside its move. It's upward move, sorry, but I could very well see something like this, you know. So I'm not discounting the possibility that we do get another drop afterward, but I just basically think that a relief rally will follow really, really soon, and then I think we probably move higher towards like 2.5 or something. I mean, we don't really have any bullish divergences here, maybe in like really low time frames. Actually, we do like really low time frames. So we have this bullish divergence here. And yeah, so basically, I think we do have a relief rally soon. And let me just move to SHIB real quick. Okay, so I will. So yeah, SHIB broke out from this resistance line, reached high here, and basically generated bearish divergence. I think we discussed this either in the group or maybe in the previous stream. So basically, we had bearish divergence here. It decreased. It bounced above this support, this resistance line, validated to the support, and it's now trading above this support area here. RSI is just above 50. So my outlook for SHIB is basically the same as Dogecoin. So we had this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now we're doing some sort of an ABC. So yeah, relief rally, another drop. Now in this case, what to me shows that this is the correct count is basically wave 4. Like honestly, if you do Elliott wave, you always look for these because basically when you think that wave 4 should be here, so basically you counted it as 1, 2, then you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when you think that wave 4 should be here, and then you also get a symmetrical triangle there, then it's for sure wave 4. So basically you know that the next upward movement is the last one before a correction. So yeah, that's my outlook on SHIB. Okay, so we have a question on Matic and Rose. Matic also completed the 5. I'll just say Polygon because I don't know if I should say Matic. It's probably Matic. Yeah. So same thing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We had a triangle as part of wave 4, and I think we had bearish divergence. We did have a ton of bearish divergence in the RSI. So yeah, I think this also drops to like the maybe 0.5 fib at like 98 before continuing. And Rose, I don't like know off the top of my head, but honestly, same thing. I think most charts look like this. So I mean, it's still looking strong, but I think it will fall below this level. I mean, if it validates as a support, sure, then it's bullish, but I think it probably falls below this level. So if it does something like this, I'd expect to drop. If it somehow validates the support, which I don't think it will, but if it continues staying here, then yeah, I'd be bullish. But yeah, so that's my outlook, and I'll give it to Konstantin now.
Yeah, thank you very much, Valdrin. I have kind of mixed feelings about the market, but in the short term, I'm definitely bearish. So I will just share my screen now, and then we will talk about Bitcoin, which looks kind of bullish in the monthly chart, just because we had this tremendous upward movement last month. So this was kind of very bullish to me, but then again, we had this perfect rejection at the 50-month EMA for now. And that's why I'm really bearish in the short term. So long term or midterm, it's still like kind of like there is a definite chance of a bullish trend reversal, but I don't see any confirmation for that. It's just like we had a pretty bullish January, and we have this upticking histogram of the MACD. That's basically all the bullishness that I see. Apart from that, I see a lot of bearishness, to be honest, because we had the death cross in the weekly chart for the first time in the history of Bitcoin, which could actually mark the beginning of the new trend, a downward trend for Bitcoin. So I also take that into consideration. But for the short term, you can see we basically entered a short position at 24K because we always share signals in our Telegram group for educational purposes only, basically just displaying potential entry and exit targets for potential setups. And for that, we are kind of almost at the support target of the 200-day EMA, which sits at roughly 21K 400. And just a few days ago, basically the day before yesterday, Bitcoin made this weird upward movement, which almost looked like a bullish trend reversal of this correction. But then it was followed by a continuation of the downward movement. And for now, we still have that chance to bounce off this 200-day EMA support, since the histogram of the MACD is also ticking bullishly higher since yesterday. But in general, I feel like we will break that level and head towards the next EMA, which sits at the next FIB support at roughly 20,900. And then we can also, if we break that, head towards the next support target of the golden ratio at 18,830, basically something like that, roughly between 18,500 and 18,800. So in the short term, I'm definitely bearish, but midterm wise, I could definitely see a bounce of those support targets, and then we might see a continuation of the upward trend, because we still have to consider this bullish engulfing candle. Well, wait a second, please. I have to check. So this closed at 528 and opened. Okay, we didn't have a bullish engulfing candle in Bitstamp, but for most coins we had one, which was pretty decent. So yeah, just keep in mind that it's totally possible for Bitcoin to initiate a trend reversal, a bearish trend reversal. I mean, we're still bearish since the all-time high, but I mean, like, if we really zoom out, we see that Bitcoin is in an extremely strong upward trend, and this could actually change, in my opinion. So there's always this possibility for a trend reversal, and in that case, we could head super low, extremely low, to be precise. Let's say 3,000, 6,000. So this is always possible, and just keep that in mind, because nothing is impossible here, and crypto is kind of losing a little bit of momentum for now. So that's my take on Bitcoin. And if you have any more comments on any other coins, just let us know in the comments. And now I will pass it to Ankit.
Yes, I don't have any other. Basically, BTC is. I have the same thoughts as you, Konstantin, and I'll just share my screen here to show my side of the scene, which I think. Uh, Wait a second. Can you see my screen right now? Maybe.
No, we're just seeing like the actual screen.
Okay, maybe. Uh, yes, it can. It should be visible by now.
Yeah, it's good now.
Yeah. So BTC on the weeklies right now is at support for just from the weekly perspective, because it had broken out of the lower high pattern of which I had discussed earlier also. So the support at 21K should be holding. But right now, speaking on, because if this 21K support breaks from here, this will look absolutely bearish to me. And because if this support breaks, then this should be like, if this is breaking the low high pattern for BTC at the weekly time frame, then if it breaks this support, then this would be just like a fake false breakout of the range, and that would be very, very bearish for BTC, and I would totally support the thought that BTC can go much, much lower. Then I don't think this support at 18K or maybe 15 or 16K would hold. I don't think it should be holding at that point of time. But at daily time frame, it is, uh, I guess, I wanted to see a retest of this consolidation here at the daily end. So I still hope that 20.3K and 20.5K level should be holding if there has to be a bullish outlook to the market for BTC. So going still deeper into the time frames, at 8-hour time frames, this is the support level which I had been mentioning, 21.4K, which was tested yesterday, and it is currently right there also right now. And if the support breaks, this is the next target for, because this was the consolidation for, this was the range that BTC had formed, and this is where my target is being generated from. So this was the range, and it has already tested the top of the range, which was 21.4K, and the next target is for this one is 20.5K. So I guess that can be tested, and weekly, as I've already told you, 20K should always be the least level, which the most must hold level which should be holding, and this is that. So my thoughts on BTC are mixed. I'm not very, very sure that it can hold or it can drop, but I think the bearish divergence has done its part. And if there is any bullishness to the market, and if there is anything constructive to be happening in BTC, this is the level to hold, 21K on the weekly basis at least. So that's my outlook on BTC right now, because I can think of buying at something at 20K because it is the weekly support and I think it should be holding. But if in case this breaks, uh, all hell's gonna break loose for BTC, and we'll be, I mean, I personally would be targeting very lower, and I'll be looking for some short positions if that happens. There was some question upon about Matic. Matic uh, had a bearish divergence there, which it broke out from, and it hasn't been very much constructive on BTC chart. Matic BTC, I'm considering here. According to BTC, Matic BTC, I think this has to be the range which it had formed on the weekly, and after giving a deviation below the resistance, below the support, it has just held at the resistance it has tested and hasn't broken out of it. So yes, I guess there can be some correction from here, at least to the mid level and the 0.382 level, which is the most old level for Matic according to this range, and the 3-day time frame level. Daily is not very different from that. So the bearish divergence which it had is already, I guess, in the play, and this is the must hold level for Matic BTC on the 3-day level, which is point something something points 5229, which should be holding. So if this doesn't hold, I consider, if I think Matic can go quite lower. Dogecoin was, in my views, after it had broken out of this long-term trendline resistance, and it had hit some targets, and right now it is on, I guess, weekly support. This is the level, and the weekly for me being long time bullish on Dogecoin, this had to be broken, but it hasn't been able to do so. So it's currently on weekly support, but uh, not very bullish on this one currently, because if this has to be somewhat constructive, I want to see this a break of this resistance trend line and perfect test of this support level, and then I would consider that Dogecoin would be doing something. Uh, if the support level here at weekly breaks down, uh, like if BTC chooses to, break down from 21K or 20K level, below 20K level, I wouldn't consider uh, being in position for Dogecoin. But if Elon has another plans, uh, he can pump this coin into 10% of a pump, or he can do that. But for a long time, I wouldn't try to position myself into this if this support doesn't hold for weekly. uh, it has already given a deviation, kind of a deviation below the weekly level, and it is currently tested the long term trendline resistance. So if it breaks down again, I don't think it is very bullish for me. Maybe somewhere around the lower boundary, I would consider something of some kind of a position there, but I don't really uh, want to position myself in Dogecoin right now. So there is another coin, Zcash, which I wanted to talk about. Its long time trend and resistance is still being a resistance on 3-day time frame, and it has a bullish divergence at sorry, it has a bullish divergence at 3-day, and there is a support level here on the BTC, on Zcash BTC chart, and there's a support at 3 days. So I guess if if it breaks out of here, I think this can be a very very good buy, because it is already at all time lows on the weekly also, and on 3-day time frame also it is showing some signs of bullishness here. So maybe because it hasn't done anything in the past. If you look at the whole of the chart, at it hasn't done anything there. It's like he this coin hasn't seen any bull run. Basically, there was some 250% of a move here, but on the whole, I guess this coin hasn't seen any bull run, in my opinion. But this coin can be huge because it is a kind of a privacy coin, Zcash, and the market cap is also good. But I think if this breaks out, this coin can do 20x or 30x at the minimum. I think so, because I have some trust in this. So I guess for monitoring this one, if this breaks, obviously it is going to go lower. But uh, if it breaks bullishly at the 3-day time frame, and it has shown some perseverance at this level, and if it breaks out of this level, this is a weekly resistance level. The yellow lines are from the weekly resistance. So if it breaks out of here, I think there is a very good possibility that Zcash can be the next big thing. If it breaks out of here, and I would consider something very huge, not this extreme, but I guess there are some take profit levels here which which can be taken into consideration. But I would consider that this can be very very good for Zcash. So those are my thoughts on this thing. And if you have any questions, you can ask, guys. And Walden and Konstantin and me are here for answering any questions. So I'll just forward it to you, Walden.
Yeah, I mean, we only have like 4 or 5 minutes left, so I guess if there aren't any questions, we can end it here. Okay, then, everyone, thanks a lot for watching. And yeah, we will see you next week's stream, and we'll post the topic as soon as it's available. So thanks, everyone, and have a good day or night, whenever it is that you're watching this.
Thank you, guys. Bye bye.
See ya, guys.